I just can't stop myself from buying books. I can't say that I'm really ashamed of myself, though. Really.
Hey booktubers, this is the long haul for this book haul session, and I'm trying a few new things. I'm using my new camera that I've got instead of the webcam that I usually use, so I'm just trying different angles and different things to see how they go. First book that I'm going to go over I'll go over the Easton Press book first. And this is the Iliad of Homer. And this is part of the Greatest 100 series of books. And it is illustrated. This particular one, the frontispiece they call it, is in color. The rest of the illustrations, I believe, are in black and white. The book is written in verse, and they're kind of Greek drawings, as you can see there. And there are several of them throughout the book, and there is the font. It's really quite large. I know it doesn't look very large maybe there. I can't really tell because the camera has a really small screen. So, and it is translated obviously from the Greek, but there is a lot of really beautiful illustrations in it. So I just wanted to show that to you. I know probably not too many of you are interested in you know, the ancient Greek, but they are very good when you actually sit down. It takes time to read them, especially this particular translation is by Alexander Pope, and that was translated quite a while back. So if you get newer translations into more, let's say, modern English, it's not that that's real bad, but they can be a little more interesting and quicker reading. The next one up I have is Snow Walker by Catherine Fisher. This was one that I had on my wish list for quite a while, and as I said before, when I do an Amazon haul, I try to get something that's been on my wish list for a while. I'll go ahead and read the synopsis. This sounds really good to me. From the frozen mists beyond the edge of the world comes Gundren, the Snow Walker, to rule the Jarl's people through fear and sorcery. But the enchantress has one weakness, her son Carrie, which is a strange name with an I for a son. Okay, banished as a child to... Okay, here we go. I can't read it. It's like Thrasher's Hall. The forbidding fortress in the desolate snowbound north. The people of the Jarl have never set eyes on Carrie, but in secret they wonder, are the rumors true? Was he born a monster? Now, too, will discover the truth. Because their fathers were loyal to the rightful ruler, Gundren has exiled Jessa and Thorkill to Theris Hall. The cousins wonder if they can survive the impossible trek to the ruined castle, and if they do, what will they find at the end of their journey? A beast? Or the means to stop Gundren? In this spellbinding saga, a resourceful heroine and an unexpected hero must discover a way to free the Jar's hold from tyranny and lose it forever to the Snow Walker. So I thought that sounded very interesting. Here's a little quote from the back. It says, "He did not move or say anything, but the witch slowly bent before him like a candle too close to heat. Her eyes widened. She staggered to the table and clutched it, one hand gripping the edge, her knuckles white. 'This is pain,' he said quietly, coming up behind her. 'This is how it feels, and these are nightmares. See them? This is silence. This is fear.'" So that was a quote from the book. Pretty cool. Snow Walker, Catherine Fisher. This was one, The Secret Journeys of Jack London, The Wild, by Christopher Golden and Tim Leben, with illustrations by Greg Ruth. I got this from James at Book Chic on his Boothy0304 YouTube channel. This was a book. He gets a lot of books from and arcs from publishers, and I believe that is the correct sideways. And this one, they sent him, and he didn't want it. He was going to give it away to the library, and I said, I'll take it. So all I had to do was pay shipping, and he was very, very kind and sent it to me. So it's a brand new book. It has the decal edge, and it said it was illustrated. I haven't really even opened it yet. Yeah, cool. It has illustrations in it, full page. Very, very neat. Yeah, I can't wait to read this. I know he said it wasn't his cup of tea, but I think it's exactly mine. So it's just a matter of getting the right book to the right person. Okay. The world knows Jack London as a writer who lived his own thrilling real-life adventures, but there are parts of his life that have remained hidden for many years. Things even he couldn't set down in writing. Terrifying, mysterious, bizarre, and magical, these are the secret journeys of Jack London. We meet Jack at age 17, following thousands of men and women into the Yukon Territory in search of gold. For Jack, the journey holds the promise of another kind of fortune, challenge and adventure. But what he finds in the wild north is something far more sinister than he could have ever imagined. Kidnapping and slavery, the murderous nature of desperate men, and amidst it all, supernatural beasts of wilderness that prey upon the weakness in men's hearts. Jack's survival will depend on his ability to quell the demons within himself as much as those without. So, this sounds really, really interesting. Geez, thank you, James. You might have want to actually read it. If you want to, I will. After I'm done with it, I'll send it back to you. I don't think he watches my videos anyway, but anyway. So, here's one, Breathe My Name. And I do believe that Deb's at Deborah's Book Cafe just hauled this one. So it doesn't look like a very long synopsis, so I'll go ahead and read it to you anyway. I need to see you. Please come right away. We have to finish. Life should be sweet for Frances Robinson. She has an amazing best friend, lives in a beautiful house with a loving family, and has just met a seriously cute guy named Nix, N-I-X, recently transplanted from Louisiana. So why do her nightmares startle her awake, and why is she terrified of ambulances screaming in the night? Frances has a secret. Years ago, before she was adopted by the Robinsons, she lived with her birth mother and 3 younger sisters in the made-up country of Fireless. Life was good there. Frances's mother, Afton, loved singing, laughing, and dancing in the rain. Most of all, she loved Fireless, a beautiful and mysterious place of her own invention. But the lure of Fireless led Frances's mother deeper and deeper into madness until she suffocated her children, one after another in the quiet sunshine of an ordinary morning, all except Frances. Frances escaped. Now Afton Jelks is out of prison, which is her mother, and she wants to finish what she started. So, yeah. A little bit mysterious. Breathe My Name by R.A. Nelson. This is by Jasper Ford. One of our Thursdays is missing, and there's the side and the back. This is part of the Thursday Next kind of mysteries. And this one says Thursday Next, first among sequels. Oh, that's because, yeah, anyway, that's because it says the New York Times bestselling author of Thursday Next, first among sequels. So Thursday Next, he's got several books out featuring this, I don't know if it's a girl or a boy. I believe it's a girl, Thursday Next. And he goes through, from what I understand, they are books, they are stories written about existing books. Like, I think he had one like with Jane Eyre, and I don't remember exactly everything that happens because I have not read one yet. But when I do, of course, decide to start reading the series, I will have all the books. I think I have all of them. So yeah, but they're very, very, very interesting, I believe. I think I can read this. I don't think they're like a series of books. I think they're individually written with the same characters. So I'm going to go ahead and read this. In a time of unrest in the book world. It's a time of unrest in the book world. Only the diplomatic skills of ace literary detective Thursday Next can avert a devastating genre war. But a week before the peace talks, Thursday vanishes. Has she simply returned home to the real world, or is this something more sinister? But all is not yet lost. Living at the quiet end of speculative fiction is the written Thursday Next, who is attempting to keep her own small 4-book series both respectful to her illustrious namesake and far from the grim specter of being remaindered. And if you know what remaindered is, that's where they put the mark. They put a mark on the bottom of the book to devalue it from a brand new book, because for crying out loud, you wouldn't want to get, a new book at a discounted price, right? And I believe in the book world, I keep looking at, I'm looking at the little camera next to this instead of the lens, I'm sorry. In the book world, or in any other world, like if you buy a garment or something, they don't, make a rip in it because, geez, we're putting it on sale and the garment is no longer brand new because you're not paying full price. But for books, they deface them. They'll cut the price out sometimes, or there's a price up there, and sometimes they'll, you can barely see that, but there's a price. They'll cut that out. Sometimes they'll put a mark between, a black marker over here. They'll mark the bottom of the book, and it drives me crazy. But anyway, I'm not going to go ahead and read through all of this, but I can't wait to start reading this series, and I'm going to, I hope, maybe I'll get to the first book this year. I'm hoping. Looking for Alaska by John Green. Everybody knows about this book, so I'm not going to go over that. Night Runner by Max Turner. I'm pretty sure that people have probably read about this book. Let's see. He's on a race for answers. Every step is taking him closer to the darkest of truths. For Zach Thompson, living in the Nichols ward isn't so bad. After his parents died, he developed strange and severe allergies, and the mental institution was the only place where he could be properly looked after. As strange as it was home. He could watch as much television as he wanted. His best friend Charlie often visited him, and Nurse Ophelia sometimes took him bowling. Of course, that didn't mean he had it easy. His allergies restricted his diet to strawberry smoothies, and being the only kid at the hospital could get lonely. But it never once crosses Zach's mind to leave, until the night someone crashes through the front doors and tells him to run. Along with Charlie and a girl he may or may not be falling in love with, he does just that, run. Under cover of night, hiding amongst the shadows, he races for the truth. So, I'm not exactly sure what that's all about, but it sounds interesting. It is about, let's see, 261 pages, and I believe these are both YA novels, along with this third one. These last 3 books I got all from Karen at OCD Books in her recent book sale. This is So Shelley by Ty Roth. Karen did not really like this book, so she decided to sell it. It's a hardcover. The author is a University of Toledo professor here. I live in a suburb of Toledo, so it's interesting to have a local author putting out a major book like this. So, high school junior John Keats. And what I liked about this was that it is a story about Byron and Keats, Shelley and the gang of 3 or whatever you want to call that. I haven't read a whole. I still keep looking at the little thing. I'm sorry, not looking at the camera. I'll get used to it. I believe all 3 of them were poets. Keats obviously was. Byron, I believe, was. I'm going to have to look that up. I feel unprepared. So, okay. Junior high school high school junior John Keats has only tiptoed near the edge of the vortex that is Gordon Byron, schoolmate and literary prodigy. That is until their mutual friend, Michelle Shelley, drowns in a sailing accident. After stealing Shelley's ashes from her memorial at Trinity High, Keats and Gordon set a course for the small Lake Erie island, which is right near me, where her body washed ashore and where she wanted to be laid to rest. Granting her last wish would be Keats and Gordon's way of letting their friend have one final, so Shelley, romantic journey. As they make their way to Lake Erie, navigating obstacles and resisting temptations, Keats and Gordon glue together the shattered pieces of Shelley's and their own pasts while attempting to make sense of her premature death. Ty Roth plunges into uncharted waters as they cleverly transform poets, there we go, Keats, Byron, and Shelley into present-day high school students, sometimes tragic, always outrageous. So Shelley captivates the indomitable spirit of romanticism. And I believe all those authors, or all those poets, knew each other, if I'm not mistaken about that. Probably going to have to look that up and see, but I believe they all knew each other and were like associates. Not sure they were always on great terms, but you know, and I believe this was back like in the early 1800s, something like that. So that's everything I have for today. I wanted to go over, I did get a new e-reader, and you guys are probably going, oh no, we got an e-reader. But yeah, I've had an e-reader for a while. I have the Sony PRS 600 that I bought about 2 years ago, and I have let's see, read several books on there, and I decided to go ahead and get the newer model. This is the PRS 350, and this is what it looks like. It's got a 5-inch screen, and this is one of the books that I purchased recently, so I'm going to go ahead and haul this. This is Barbara Michael's Witch, and you can see the screen is black and white, and I'm going to take this out of the cover because I think it's going to be a little bit easier to show. The screen is black and white, and it's e-ink, so you know, it isn't it's pretty good contrast, I think. I'll try to get closer there. Now the book cover, when you look like on Amazon or wherever, this is very, very dark. I think it's green or blue or something. So that's why it does, because it's supposed to be a night scene with a white cat. And I can go ahead and the only thing I don't like about ebooks is I was kind of hoping that they would actually, like on the first page right after the cover, they would actually give the synopsis of the book. And I don't believe they do. So, okay, Witch, by Barbara Michaels. For Ellen March, the secluded old house nestled in the pine woods is more than the dream home she's long been searching for. It is an escape, a chance to start over, to forget the pain of her failed marriage and enjoy the restful pace of small-town living. Here, too, is a golden opportunity to get to know Norman McKay, her handsome and worldly new neighbor. But after dark, in Ellen's perfect house, strange visions invade her restless mind. Silent strangers moving through the twilight shadows, the ghostly figure of a woman, and a spectral white cat. Ellen came here hoping to bury the past, but something terrifying has taken its place. Her safe haven has become her prison, and there is no escape. So yeah, I thought that sounded really, really, really interesting. I'm going to go ahead and go on and show you one other book. I'm going to haul that. I've had this other book for a while. Okay, this is Sacred Hearts by Sarah Dunant. I believe it's D-U-N-A-N-T. And I think you can see that there, I hope. And I'll go ahead and read this one. I've had this book even on my 600. My Sony 600, but I haven't read it yet. I believe I saw it on a haul, not a haul, it was on, this is Audible, which is a radio show that is on, I can't think today, it's on my Sirius XM radio. They have a book channel, and on the book channel they read, they play audiobooks on there. And I believe there's also there's shows and things on there, and this was a book, an author that they had interviewed, and I thought it sounded interesting. The year is 1570, and in the convent of St. Caterina in the Italian city of Ferrara, noble women find space to pursue their lives under God's protection. But any community, however smoothly run, suffers tremors when it takes in someone by force, and the arrival of Santa Caterina's new novice sets in motion a chain of events that will shake the convent to its core. So there's quite a bit more when I'm looking at the Sony book site and reading the synopsis off there, which are pretty good. So you get a pretty good idea of what this is going to be. You know, a book about this woman obviously brought there, and I believe I remember her talking about this now on the TV show or on the radio show, where they back in this time period in the 1500s, if they didn't know what to do with a young girl, they would if she wasn't able to get married or didn't, you know, I wasn't sure exactly how she said that, but they would actually take them to the convents and leave them there. So this is why they said it. She was taken there against her will. So it'll be very, very interesting to see how. I believe you would probably consider this kind of historical fiction. So I'm hoping you're enjoying that. If anybody wants me to go over the Sony PRS 350, I would be happy to make a video of that. I don't know all of the functions on it yet, but I'm learning it. It's a lot like my 600, and I can compare the two as far as the screens, and but the screens on these are really, really, really nice. So I got that set kind of small, but you can see the contrast is really, really nice on that. So okay, well, that's probably way too long. I don't have a timer on this camera, at least not in the on the little screen that's facing me, which I think is kind of strange. I probably have to change some setting on it or something. Thank you for watching. I hope I didn't babble on too much, and interested obviously to hear what you guys might think about my e-reader. You know, I love physical books too. That's not going away, but what I probably will be doing is buying more books, like maybe recent type books that for some reason I don't want to buy the hardback or whatever, I don't know. I might be putting more on the e-reader and hauling them like I did today. I showed you the picture of the book that they had there, and so yeah, interested to see what you have. You can also, it has like screensavers on it like the Kindle does now. The Sony didn't have that before, but that's pretty cool. You can put all different kinds of pictures on there to show. So anyway, there's that. Bye.